for joining Motivational Monday, brought to you by The Bridge Builder. And as I was flying in yesterday, I realized we only have 10 weeks left in the year, 10 Mondays left. And as I was thinking about this, and as we're ramping up to finish this year, and we want to finish strong and go into a new year, I thought about the fact that many of us want change in our lives, whether that's to change our financial status, whether that's to change our health, whether it's to change our job, whether it's to change anything in our lives. We want change in our lives. Senator Allen, good to see you, sir. And as I was thinking about change, I thought about over the next 10 weeks, I want to give you a checklist for change. And so number one today is on the checklist for change, control what you can control. So I was thinking about this, and as I was thinking about this, I thought about the time that I had a remote control that was frustrating me, because every time I pointed it at the television, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, and so I kept trying to change it. I kept trying to turn the television up. I kept trying to turn the television down. And what I realized is that this remote was not programmed for the television properly. And because it was not programmed for that television, it could not change it because it could not be used because it wasn't programmed properly. And for many of you, what I need to remind you of in life is that you have not been programmed to control anybody else but yourself. And some of the times that we have in our lives, and some of the challenges that we have, is that we try to control things we cannot control. And anytime you're trying to control other people, control how they feel about you, how they see you, how they think of you, it will not work. You cannot control anyone but yourself. So today, I'm going to give you the remote. I'm going to put it in your hand. I'm going to ask you to point it at yourself, because there are three things that you can control. The first thing you can control is your perception. You have to control how you see things. Over and over again, I hear people with poor perceptions of themselves, poor perceptions of how the day is going to go, poor perceptions of how things are going to turn out in their lives, poor perceptions of other people. You can control your perception. You have to see things as if you want them to be. You got to be able to look at something that's broken down. You got to be able to look at something that may not be working like you thought it would. You got to be looking at something, even yourself in the mirror, and look at things and say, I'm going to change this. I have an outlook that says it can be better, but not only can it be better, it will be better. A friend of mine and I are working on weight loss, and I've not been happy the last few weeks at how the scale has been looking. But one thing I said, either I'm going to make excuses or I'm going to change, and I have no excuses about it. My perception is this will change. So that's number one. The first thing you can control is your perception. The second thing you can control is your persistence. Persistence means not giving up. Persistence means I'm going to keep going no matter what it looks like. Persistence means I'm going to stay focused no matter what anyone says around me or what they say about me. I'm going to keep at it. Persistence is going on no matter what the weather is, no matter whether it's rain or snow. I'm going to keep moving because I'm persistent at my passion. I'm persistent at my purpose, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. So two things I can control so far is I can control my perception, how I see things. I can control my persistence, which means I'm not going to throw in the towel no matter what it looks like. But there's a third thing I can control, and that is my performance. See, what I've discovered is that many of us, sometimes we perform based on what day it is. We perform based on who's in the room. We perform based on how we're feeling. We perform based on what we think we're going to get out of it. We perform based on who's watching us. But when you are passionate about your purpose and you really want to change your life, the checklist for change, number one this week is control what you can control. And the only person you can control is you. You control your own perception. You control your own persistence. You control your own performance. I've made a decision in my life that whether I'm in Detroit, Michigan, or whether I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, or whether I'm in the backside of a mountain, or whether I'm living in a box, I am going to be persistent about everything because I've decided that I can control my performance, and I'm going to give my best effort every day. That means if you got a broom in your hand today, you ought to sweep that floor like nobody else does. That means if you got a rag in your hand, you ought to wash those dishes like nobody else has. That means if you own your own company, you ought to go out and speak about your company as if it's $1 billion company. That's billion with a B. That means if you're writing a book, you ought to write it like everybody in the world's going to read it. That means if you're on Motivational Monday, you ought to be motivating people like everybody in the world is going to look at it. Because as long as there's a Monday, I'll be motivating you. I'm excited about having you with me today. I'm excited about this checklist for change. This is week number 1 of a 10-week series on the checklist for change. There's only 10 weeks left in the year. I'm glad you're with me. I'm grateful that you support me. We're going somewhere together. We're going to motivate the world together, and I'm glad that you're a part of it. Share this video with somebody. Buy my book, How to Get to the Other Side. That supports my efforts. I'm going back to a conference now in Detroit. I'm about to meet people that are going to be the key to unlocking doors that will change my life. I'll see you next week, same time, same place, because as long as there's a Monday, we'll be motivating you. I'll see you soon. Hey, cuz, good to see you, big O. Love you.